Hey guys, and how's it going? So in the process of buying a skid steer that ended up having a blown engine, another piece of my power equipment also wanted to not feel left out, I guess. It would be my Terramite tractor that we gave it so much love about 3 months ago. Changed all the fluids, went through it, made sure everything was operating okay, fixed all the lights, all the leaks. Well, it decided to throw a rod because it, again, got jealous of the other machine being worked on. So it is now at the shop. And I don't know, we get about an hour's worth of runtime on it since we changed the oil. And it's been clacky for a while. I thought it was more valves, but guess not. She's poofed. I believe one of the rods totally let go. It was making a screeching noise and then it got a lot quieter. Still running on one cylinder and then died. So with that, let's get her off the trailer, get her in the garage. Hopefully I have an engine already to replace this one. I have a couple that are in the same family. Well, let's get into it. It sounded terrible. Yeah, she's cooked. So here we are up in the stash, and one of the subscribers a couple years ago hooked me up with a couple of engines. He had a landscape company, and I'm pretty sure one of them smoked real bad, and I don't even remember what the issues were with the other. I don't know if they're any good, if they're not any good. So I think we should probably pick one that's got the correct output shaft on it, which I think we need that setup. Yeah, they all look pretty much the same. I think we just try to pick one. Maybe we'll bring it downstairs and we'll see what we got. Maybe we can fire it up off of the tractor instead of committing to it, and see if we can find ourselves a good one. Or maybe we'll grab the most complete. Maybe this one. It's got both valve covers on it. Looks like it's got plug wires there. There's electric start on it, and we're gonna have to go into it anyway because all the wires are cut. All right, let's drag that one down and see what we get. That was the easy part. You ready? You gotta get grip. It only tickled the one testicle. It's missing a dipstick. Let's go steal the one out of the other one. Probably has no oil in it. A different style. We're gonna have to go shopping upstairs for one. Yeah, it's not the same setup. So it looks like we need one like this. Hopefully it's not too much stuff that's different. Oh, it's got a little bit of oil on it. Alright, what's your guess? I'm gonna say bone dry. Yep. We're gonna take a quick peek, make sure there's a drain plug in it, and we'll throw some oil in. And we'll hook power to the starter and give her a quick listen. It's got a drain plug. Weird that nothing's in it though, right? That's all this. Pardon me. It's got one of those clip ones. I think you push them in and turn them. Yeah, that's loose. Hang on, let me just go tighten that up and throw a little bit of oil in it. Yeah, looked on the hour meter. I think it's got like 6 hours on the other machine. We got some yard sale Pennzoil HD 30. If it's good, we'll change it. But for now, we're just going to put whatever we got in it. I'd give it a 40% success rate. Again, I think he was saying the engines had some kind of issue. I don't know if all of them did or not, or some were replacements, or... Okay, just give us enough to build oil pressure, you know. Yes, the other engine was it was always like a little valve tappy. Not terrible, but you know, apparently it was rod, not valve. But we are a little more. I was in the process of I was digging some railroad ties out around the camp. So I went down around the corner, got the machine down into this like little tucked in area. Outriggers down, backhoe extended, like I said, outriggers down, and as soon as I went to go move the backhoe part of it, it just started screeching. At first I thought it was the backhoe itself, like when because it was as soon as I went to go put it in motion. A little bit more. It screeched and stalled, like the load was too much on it. And I went to go crank it, and she no crank, and then it like kind of pushed through. And then when it started back up, then it started rapping like crazy, and I knew it was done. So the machine was in a place I could never get a trailer to it. Plus, it's fully hydraulic. All the hydraulics are down. Backhoe's out. It fired back up. I quickly sucked all the outriggers in and drove the machine like up onto the trail so I can get it with a trailer. And that's what I did. That's good enough. All right, let's go get a jumper pack, and we'll give her a spin and see if it spins, and we'll kind of give her a listen, and maybe, I think the plugs are out of it. We could probably do a compression test, see how that looks. Yeah, just to help, let's go throw a little bit of oil in each cylinder before we spin it, just to give it a fighting chance, in case it's got anything in it. Again, it's, you know, stored with the plugs out of it. I don't know what the history of it was. I think there is two colors that are similar to each other. I'm not positive of that, so I'm hoping that they are a match. And so we're going to want to put power and ground to it. And I got a jumper lead, so we're going to go from power to that little terminal, and that starter should crank. Should. Let's see if we can get on there. All right. See what we got. Yeah, it spins. Let's go give her a good. I'm going to watch out for oil doesn't shoot us. I don't know if that's blow by. It's pushing the dipstick up. Let's go lock that down. That's kind of weird. So is that. Let's go pop my valve cover off. Seems like it's got a ton of blow by. This valve cover is already loose too, so there might be getting another engine. Well, that might be an issue. There's no push rods or anything in this side. I wonder if that is by somebody stole parts off of it or it's totally junk. Let's I don't think to figure out if the piston's going up and down. We can go peek on. That valve cover is all locked on. Yeah, I don't know if somebody just stole parts on it, or let's go give her a spin. I'll look down those lifters, see if they're. It's puffing air out. It's puffing all kinds of stuff out. It's like I'm not sure what that is. You want to go look for another one? You want to keep going with this one? It's got oil up in the top. Let's go just see if. Let me go get us set up. See if we can look down that plug hole. See if the piston's going up and down. Not sure what you can see, but if you spin it. You see that the piston's going up and down, so that doesn't seem to be an issue. And it does look like it's got oil up in the lifter bore. Like I said, I don't know if somebody just stole some parts off of this thing, or judging by that, I think we might be better off trying to take from something else. Can't even do a compression test. Going shopping again. Sure is gonna suck if none of these are good, huh? Let's go see if this got anything in it. That one's got oil in it. Let's go try this one. Make sure it's got the shaft on it that we need. I think they all did. Yeah. That one, you know, who knows, it doesn't even gonna come off of there. I hope we're not making this a habit. Okay. Both testicles now feel the even pain. let's go try that one. This one's got plugs in it, so maybe we'll just kind of like leave them in. We'll give a quick listen to it before we do a compression test. I do see it looks like that exhaust port on this one is dirty and the other one's clean, so that might be the engine. Again, this was like 4 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago that they were donated to us. I was hoping to build a V6 or V8. Hey, you ready? Let's see what we got. Doing the same thing. Let's leave that out. Just go spin it a little bit. That one's pumping water out. This is not looking good for the cause, now is it? Let's pop the plugs out of it and see. Actually, you know what? Yeah, we'll pop the plugs out of it. I want to see if we've got spark too. Not that we can't steal all the stuff off the other engine. And I think the hydraulic valves that we saw in that other engine, so there's no valve adjustment to make. Oof, a little cruddy. We'll get the other one out. And here's the one from the other side. That wasn't gonna run. Let's try to get the light out of you. It is totally bridged across the plug gaps. There's no gap in there whatsoever. Alright, let's go spin it with no plugs in it for a second, and then we'll go get a compression tester. At least it's puffing. Let's go do the finger. That one. The one on this side's weak. You can even hear it. It sounds different. I'm going to go dump a little bit of oil down each cylinder, and we'll spin it a little bit and we'll get the compression tester. Probably pop that valve cover off the other side too. Yeah, it's starting to look like the best engine I have is the one that's on the tractor. Let's go give her a decent amount. I would think we'd have enough parts to put one together if we have to. Really wasn't planning on that. Let's go kick it to the side a little bit so it doesn't spit oil on your eyeballs. Alright, let's go get a gauge. Let's see what, this should be the good one. 125, that's perfectly fine for that. I'm going to guess the other side's got like 30. But also hoping if we put the oil in it, it may have been just like a valve not sealing or something. You just got some like rust and crud around on the top of it. That's what I'm hoping for. And let's see what this one does. But take a bet. I'm going to say 20 psi. Or 0. I'm going to say it's the exhaust valve. Hopefully it's just, again, not sealing. It's just got some crud sitting around it. Let's go buzz that valve cover off and we'll take a look at them. See what the heights of them are, if they're coming all the way up. Yeah, I made the mistake saying to myself, man, this is going to be kind of a boring video. It's just going to be swapping engines. Prove me wrong. That one was loose. And that one was loose. Let's see what we get. Just kind of spin we got on them. Kind of seems like We could put air in the cylinder, and you see where the air is coming out of. We're gonna give them, let's go get like a mallet. We're gonna give them a couple of wraps on top of them. See if we can kind of seat those valves a little bit. Well, the bet didn't do much. Made it worse. Yeah, we got nothing. That's another dud. I'm wondering if maybe we could steal that while we got them apart. We'll take the rocker assembly off of this one, just throw it on the other engine. And we got one more to try. I'm gonna peek in there, see if that cylinder is even going up and down. Yep. Let's go throw a plug on it real quick. Now with the wires disconnected, I believe it should have spark. For the most part, actually we gotta go clean a plug first. Let's go clean one of them up so they actually have a point gap of some sort. So I went and I hit them on a wire wheel. They're so bad, down in the insulator was packed. I ended up getting, these are different plugs. All right, let's go kill that light. Let's see if we can get a spark. Knock the wire off somewhere. Oh, no ground. So it's got spark. Good, we know the electrical part of it works. Actually, you know what? That might be an issue. Bent push rod. But it's doing the travel, which is weird. Yeah. That ran into something that caused that rod, that, I don't know if you can see it, that push rod's all bent. You gotta clean your lens. You got oil in your eyeballs. Both of them, not just one. Feel like they got decent travel. Let's quick spin it without the plug in it. Let's see what we get. Where's the button? Got oil pressure. Yeah. I'm gonna go hammer them straight real quick. And we'll throw them back in, and we'll just give her a double check, and then we're going to go move over to the other motor again. I got them straightened out. Yeah, nothing. My thought is, I wonder if it over revved and it floated the valves. The valves hit the piston, you know, and again interfering with the push rods, bent them, and the valves are possibly bent on the inside. But let's go swap this stuff over to the other engine, the first one we started with. Bent them again. sure they move. Kind of funny that they're both the same cylinder. I gotta hammer that one a little bit more. If we get a good outcome, we'll take the good part. Right now, I'd rather just kind of be working with the junk that we're hammering straight. Like if I were to put good ones in that other engine, it would have bent them. Good down below. Yeah, I'm centered. We run them home. You could spin that over by hand. Starter's engaged. There it goes. Let's put the jumper pack on it. What's your thoughts? Let's go see. I'll bump it a little. No compression. Let's push some air. We're going to take these right off again. Let's go push some air in the cylinder and we'll see where it's coming out of, the intake, exhaust, or down at the crankcase. Don't think it's optical illusion. It looks like the exhaust valve is sitting lower than the intake valve. My guess is that one might be bent. And just for assessment of parts before we further, let's go throw a plug in this one and we'll see if it's got spark. I don't know if the coils are good on this. That's got spark also. All right. A quick little explanation about what I'm doing. So both valves are all the way up and I'm going to push air into the cylinder and it's either going to come out the intake out of the carburetor, it's going to come out the exhaust port, or it's going to come out of the the crankcase. So it's either going by the rings, the compression is either leaking out of valve on one of the two. So let's see what we get. Just turn the engine over. Got a good amount. Nothing out of the intake. A good amount coming out of the exhaust. I'm going to put just the rocker on the intake and we'll spin it over real quick and see if we get any compression without anything being on top of here. Because it's not like, we're still trying to figure stuff out. Let's see what we got on that. Alright. So, the exhaust valve just says, more likely it's bent. My guess is it floated, maybe on the other engine it floated too. The governors may have ran away or they over throttled them. Common theme. What do you want to do? You want to try tearing the cylinder heads off of them and see which one's got... My guess is the cylinder heads left and right may be the same. Let me go get rid of this air gun. I don't know if they are... Yeah, we're gonna go now. The exhaust is the left and the right. There, both exhausts face this way. If the exhaust went on the other direction, right? If we swap that around, yeah, we're screwed. We still got the heads on the other engine. Quickly, let's go figure out on the tractor which cylinder head is pooched. So we would need this one to be good. pull this plug, we crank it over, and it's got some compression coming out of it. Let me know this side's the side that's still spinning. Well, actually, this threw a rod, so at least we think it threw a rod. So both heads may be good. Let's go find out. All right, so that's the side that's still working. Good. At least you have some kind of mix of parts. Let's go to the other engines. We'll start stripping them down. We'll pop heads off of them. We'll take a peek what's going on inside there. I know people are going to ask. Took the one out of the other side. Let's see what we got. And nothing. Well, I think we got enough pieces to try to put one together. Do you want to try bringing the jumper pack upstairs for a... I'm out of nuts. So let's go bring the jumper pack upstairs real quick. We'll spin that other engine. Maybe we'll bring a couple of plugs with us. Actually, we'll bring the compression tester with us and the button. And we'll spin that one right up there and see if there's any kind of chance that that's got some life to it. So it's got a spark plug in that side and not in that side. And this is the side that's always blowing up on the last two that we have. See if that starter's got any life to it. And see what we get. Finger over that one. That one's good. Let's go get the plug loose. Nope, and I didn't bring the socket up with me. And this is the trouble side. See what we get. All right, let's make her official. You know, if I brought the whole pallet down with all three engines, the first one would have been just fine. I still think we may try to make a good one out of those two, or those three. Let's not jump the gun though. Let's see what we got. That's okay, plus the carb. Had a carb just sitting on it. 100, eh. Let's go check the other side real quick. And 120. Question is, on this one, that pulley that's on the front, that right there, hopefully that comes off. This is taking much longer than I expected. We got a plug up here. Let's go check for spark real quick. Feels like it's plastic. Let's go there. Yep, got spark. And third time's the charm. It's like strangely getting easier. Yeah, let's see what this one has to offer. The floating carburetor. Why? But why does it have a floating carburetor? All right, let's go see if it's got anything in it. I don't think so. Yeah, like a dribble. We'll go top that one off. And it's already got plugs in it, so maybe we can dump a little bit of fuel down the intake and see if it'll kick off for us. All right, so we got plugs in it. Plug wires are on, I believe. Carburetor's off. I just took the rest of it out. Let's go give it a little bit of fuel, and we'll see what it does. Make sure that's fuel. Didn't sound placky or anything. Let's go try one more time. Kind of hard to hear over the exhaust, right? I don't know why I shut off though when I was feeding the gas. Look, we lost spark. Let's go a little bit more. Give it one last shot. Seems pretty good. I think we're gonna go steal all the externals for the other engine because we knew it was running anyway. But this one definitely looked like it was firing out of both cylinders, right? So let's clear that crap out. That might be, maybe we'll make another video trying to make one out of the remnants of the leftovers. But for now, let's keep our goal of trying to get a machine up and running. All right, so we got to go get the engine out of the other one. We'll get this crap off the bench. We'll put the two side by side and see if we could tear one down and make one decent one and put it back in. All right, just because it's fun. And one last thing I want to check. I want to check for oil pressure. This is the oil pressure gauge. And it should be lit when there's no pressure. When I crank that, it should go out. Let's see if we can do it without starting it. There we go. So we got oil pressure. Suck we go through that and it doesn't work. I guess we should also deal with that first. Make sure we can get that out of there. Probably get it with a puller. So we got a set screw, two set screws. 8-point sockets. When do you use an 8-point socket? Now. Shouldn't have to come all the way out. That one's run all the way in. Oof. Come on. I guess we should probably just get a puller. Don't even bother trying to hammer it, judging by the rust that's in there, right? This falls right off. Yeah, let's go grab a puller. Hey, you gonna put up a fight? That's a yes. I'm watching the fins, see if they're gonna break off on us. There she goes. Any more set screws? Yeah, we're going. And my battery's dead. We're already past where the set screws are. Yeah, there's nothing else in there. I'm gonna try shoving some lube. It's not gonna do much, but throw some heat on it. See if we can get that outer ring to expand just a little bit off of it. gonna be a little warm. We're almost there. Have to put like a shim or something in to push off of. Put a socket in the center of it. That should just give us enough to. Off to the side, but let's give her. We're back over at the machine. It looks like we can take, I already got it all blocked up. There's a safety bar in there that keeps the hydraulics up, and then I hyperextended the bucket so it doesn't want to flip over. It looks like we can take the hood, the gas tank, and it's like 4 bolts on the bottom. That whole front assembly should come out of our way. Gives us a little bit of work room. That's in there. But we got a fuel line, and then power to the headlights really. Alright, so I'm going to work on that. Maybe not bore you with that part of it, and see about getting that out. That definitely makes it easier to work on. So we got a throttle and a choke cable. Last time I had an issue with the electrical plug burned up, and I'm like, well, I'll just go jump them right across, because why would I ever have to go take it apart? So we'll just go. I think this one's got a connector on it I could break, but the other one I'll just cut right in the center. Yeah. I should have done the same thing as that, huh? So I'll take them apart. I'm gonna mark it, take a picture of it, and then we'll just cut this right down the center for now. What about that one? Oh, that one's open right there. Okay, so we'll take them, split them apart. We have a drive shaft in the back. Looks like a set screw. Hopefully that comes apart. That's kind of sucky too, huh? Kind of like what we just went through. Hopefully that actually, that shaft is not the same diameter, I don't think. Let's go measure that real quick. I thought we were good. Maybe that one motor's got a fatter shaft than the other two. Oh, the tail just keeps getting worse and worse. All right, let's go measure. One and a quarter. And that caliper hasn't changed. I already can see it's wrong. So there's that. You suck. None of them are right. I saw the taper on them. Like, yeah, they're tapered down to the right one. I believe that is right part of the crankshaft. I do not believe that comes apart and is off like the nose of it. That's right to the crank, I believe. Things that make you go, Not ready to say uncle yet. Let's get that fan out of the way and see if that unbolts. That's long enough. Well, that's looking promising. Oh yeah. We're not foiled yet. Awesome. I was thinking, yeah, the flywheel has to come off. The flywheel has to come off. How would it come off around the outside of the crankshaft? It's not part of the crankshaft. Cool. I got all the bolts out, I think. Let's see if we can kick it a little bit so we can get better access to the coupler. That's all we're gonna get. All right, see if we can get them loosened up. The other part is too, we don't have much room in the front. I mean, we're right up against that bolt. Like how much do we have to be able to pull out of one of those collars? This one looks like we need about, I don't know, what about 3/4 of an inch, an inch. Let's see if we can get that set screw out. Worst case, we can take it, pull it apart from the rear there. Those two. That front one I would have two on it too, right? Yeah. Yeah, we don't have the option of getting a puller in that one though. Yeah, see if we can get that to... Oh, moved, that's a good sign. I guess worse, you know, like I say, worst case we can try to take the universal apart. I don't think that's going to happen very easily neither. Good thing the engine didn't totally blow up so we can't turn it. At least we could spin it to what we need, you know. Alright, so I'm thinking if we're probably going to have to lift the front of that engine up to get clearance over that. Let's just see if anything moves. I'm betting not. What's your thoughts? You think it's going to come out a little bit? Lift it up. We can get the height out of it anyway. I'm going to, too bad I don't have something I could tie to the ceiling and lift up on it like a come along or something. I wonder if we can get like a little pry bar, you know, in there to give a little push. I may go try loosening that back one. It doesn't look quite as rusty. And then maybe we can get like a pry bar in here and push off on it. I just don't want to, that's the pump right there, you know, that's not a cheap piece of bit neither. Yeah, it's gonna come apart, just doesn't know it yet. Let's give her a little, I don't want to go crazy on that, like I said, that's the pump, so let's go see if it'll move. Yeah, see how that's flexing on the pump shaft there? Oh, yeah, here we go. Yeehaw! Alright, so if I lift the front of that engine up, give it some light, if I lift the front of that engine up, should be able to come forward. Come on, baby! Yeah! All it did is push it back. So how am I going to get around the front of that? How did they even possibly put it together? The other part I was thinking too, that we took the fan apart and put the shaft off, but that fan cover will not clear any of this, so we can't get to the second set of bolts. I may rig a come along up and try lifting up on the engine from the bucket, but even with that I don't think there's enough height. Right there. How are we gonna get it back in? Come on, it's up high enough. Come on. We got it. We got it. Yeah. Whee. I get to lift this one up. Plop around the creeper. Yeah. Yeah, that wasn't so bad, was it? You do some cleaning in there too. Yeah, I was trying to get up over the top of this, you know. That looks like it's kind of all welded together too, like that nut is welded to the frame, so even if we took whatever this is apart, it wasn't having it. Guess it's going back in the same way. Let's get that over on the bench and start making one good one out of them. Alright, let's go see what we got. As for differences, I see quite a few already. The other one had a screw-on screen here. This one is like clipped on. It doesn't have the metal access covers to it. Is that carb mount the same? Hard to say. Valve covers look like they're the same. This bracket can go away. We don't need this. This one has a fuel pump up on the tin. The other one was using, I don't know what it was using. Oh, yeah, the same family. Unfortunately, it's kind of wore off. A little hard to tell, huh? Looks like, as long as enough stuff exchanges from one to the other, at some point we don't care. The regulator is in the same location. That's good. Both have an oil pressure switch on them. Let's go peek at. My biggest concern is as long as we can get that drive, as long as that's the same, I guess we're good to go, right? Dipstick's different. That one's got a fatter setup. I don't know if it's going to matter. You can't change it over neither. Starters look the same. Exhaust hopefully is the same. This one looks like it's got a cylinder head temp sensor on it. I don't know if this one does. No, not on that one. Governor setup. We got our two rods there. That looks pretty much the same. So maybe you don't have to change that as long as it works. Yeah. All right, let's get the exhaust. Actually, before we can deal with the exhaust, let's get the front. How about the power plug? Looks pretty similar. Let's get the front section of this off of here, and we'll peek on what's going inside there. See if make sure all that is swappable over, because that's the biggest important thing. That it's got the same spread and everything to it. You know, it sucks. It's got those little one-way clips on there. Those little Chinese fingers things. And I think this is plastic around it. I don't know if that's going to survive the demolition. I'll have to make a tool for that. I can try and get behind it and open the little tongs up. There it goes. It broke. Good. Rather that break than the plastic piece. How many are on there? It's like 3. That one went to another country. And there's that one. We could probably use the metal one from the other one. Let's go see. Because that other one's got the 4-bolt flange with those long bolts that came out of it. Come on. You're not going anywhere. Right, need a screwdriver to get behind it. Should be able to get in there. Maybe like an extension. See if we can get them buzzed off of there. Taking a quick look at the other one for the bolt pattern, see how close it is. I think we're okay. Worst case, I'll punch a hole right in it. Can we get right through it? Get it out of the way. Yeah, I'm not gonna get a straight shot on it. Just gonna round it off. I wonder if we can take like an impact gun and drive this off of here. Get it now. So we need this to fit on this. Oh yeah, there you go. I wonder which one we can go with for the, like this one's got all the standoffs with the other fan. Let's go grab the other fan real quick. See what that assembly seems like. It's a little bit better setup, you know. Yeah. I don't think it's going to interfere with anything, so I will go with that. Oop. I still want to take it all apart anyway. We got to get that fan out of there, but keep bumping you. Your fat shoulder's getting in the way. Suck it in. Yeah, that might work out better for us than that plastic one that was on there with those clips that we don't have anymore. All right, so let's I wonder if we should just try to go for changing, like this is open up top, this one's not open up top. I don't know if they do. Oh, those are just plugs. So that's air that goes into the air cleaner setup. Maybe we'll just steal like a bunch of the externals, maybe except for the fan, and just start swapping pieces over. Just get the exhaust, we'll swap that over. Fuel pump, yeah, because we're gonna need the mounts for this fuel pump on here anyway. And whatever else we kind of find as we go along. I'm gonna take a couple of pictures with my phone real quick just to so we know what's what and try to address it as best as possible. I don't think that's gonna get in the way. No way, they went with a smaller one. All right, I'm gonna do some wrenching and I'll bring you back when I find something neat. You think, any mice? Actually pretty clean in there. Too bad I couldn't check the charging system before we took it apart. Be nice to know if that was good or not. You know, it would suck to have to go take it all back out because it's not charging. Yeah, let's go pop the one off that was inside the machine. Yeah, again, not terrible for, you know, how many 2,500 hours. Never been opened. All right, so there's two things that have popped up. I'm trying to figure out how we can address. One's going to be the oil drain. So the original engine has a plug coming out of the bottom of it. This one has where it would be, and then it has this coming out the side. Look at an Allen wrench. You take it and you open it up. Would be a drain, and then it's got like, I don't know if that's just an oil level switch, oil pressure switch. Pressure's up top. I'm not sure what that one is. Let's go look at the machine real quick and see if possibly we know where the two bolt holes are. If we're able to maybe drill a hole in the base plate here, we let it piss out instead of trying to drill into the block. And the other thing I see, which I'm not sure yet, this has a pulse pump for the fuel pump. And that is right here. That hung up on the tin, the other one didn't have. And there's a port apparently on the back of the engine right there. Let's go flip that one up real quick and see if it has it. So it looks like right there, the fuel pump, looks like, actually it might be that right there. We might be able to get, is that something that comes out of there? I think so. That should just be a vent to the crankcase. I should take care of that. Let's go look at that oil setup, see if we can come up with something. Yeah, so that's where they were draining it before. I wonder if that's thick stuff. That's half-inch thick plate too. We would need right here. The other thing too is if that's got that big fat dipstick on it, might be able to suck it up through the dipstick hole, kind of like you do with a boat. Well, all right, we'll keep that in mind. We'll decide. I have a feeling we're going to probably be drawing it up through that. Maybe a plasma cutter. We can cut a chunk out and just give her a little underneath feel. Make sure we got nothing in the way there. There's a frame rail. There's a frame rail right here, and it goes from the hole about an inch. So there's a big frame right here. So I don't know how much access we're going to be able to get with that. It's not the end of the world. Actually, I think we might be okay. It's right where, actually this is right here. Because we're sitting backwards on the bench, right? Yeah. So where that little hole was this plug on the side. It's not down here. And that's where that is. We just get rid of that apparatus and we'll put that other one that's in there. So good. I think we're okay. Easy for you to say, right? Yeah, let's get the oil out of the blowing up engine because I need that plug anyway. See how many metal sparkles we get out of it. Actually, I expected a little bit more than that. It's kind of weird too that it blew up. It's very dark also. Like again, I think I got 74, so it's actually like 4 or 6 hours out it ran after the oil change. Not quite sure why it gave up the ghost. Maybe on another video we'll find out. I got I ordered a rebuild kit for the Kubota, but it's going to be here probably about 2 weeks, so that's why I'm kind of jumping on this. Plus, I need something that moves dirt. Yeah, the Kubota was supposed to, the Bobcat rather, was supposed to be the backup machine for this one. Apparently, they both decided not to play well. Yeah, that's just more air. Curious to see. Would suck if it was that, like, that oil filter failed internally or something. Wasn't getting any oil. Getting close. Getting that close. I don't know if we should maybe try firing it up on the bench. Make sure we don't have anything that's out of whack, because it definitely would suck if we have to take it all back apart again. At least for a second, just to make sure nothing's rubbing or hitting. Fill it right. Let's try to fill the float bowl. Get something to run on. I didn't clean that carb or anything. It was like I've had it apart and blown it out. Of course, every time you do that, it always fails, right? You go top that off a little bit, and we'll dribble a little bit down the throat of it and hook the jumper pack to it. All right, let's give it a whirl, see what we get. I don't know if we need power to that. Might need power to that solenoid on that carburetor. I'm not sure, but let's give it a little to kick it off. You can go with no choke and grab the throttle. Doesn't run away on us. We don't have a way to shut it off either if it does run. There we go. Let's give her some choke. It made that shut. Yeah, I think that shut off is not doing, not allowing any fuel to go through. Let's go. We'll bottle feed it. Let's turn the choke off. Yeah, so I was thinking there's a power shutoff on the carburetor that was not allowing it to use the carb circuit, which is this right here, but it's not plugged into anything on the other end. So that's the issue. Neat. I think we're good. On that note, I think I'm going to go home and eat. And I do not feel like huffing this thing in and dealing with that drive shaft wherever that ended up. What a mess, huh? It's like a bomb goes off every time. Yeah, clean all these couplers up and get them ready to get reinserted. I am not going to wrestle with that today. But we got a good engine put back together, hopefully. And put that in there, and it goes back to moving some dirt that I need to move. All right, I'll see you in a minute, but it's going to be about 12 hours, kind of, sort of. Well, I think we're pretty close to dropping the engine in, but before we do so, take a look back over here. It'll probably take a few minutes and dig out the 25 years of mud that's been under this engine. Make her all kind of pretty. Well, maybe not pretty, but... Well, I do expect a struggle to get it back in, but I think before we try it, let's give ourselves a, fighting chance. Let's go get rid of the crap that's on there. think oil that up a little bit. We'll probably maybe stick it on the engine, and we'll work on trying to feed it on there. So let's go set up the motor for getting it in here. This is gonna be fun. I say we go for a little lube on the shaft. It's not a party without that, right? Best bet to run that in as far as we can. I don't know if that was a good idea or not. Now it's bound up. Kind of hoping that we get to be able to drop it in, have a little bit of play, then go forward. And I figured maybe we'll work smarter, not harder. And I got the lift table next to us. We'll slide it onto that and wheel it over and level it right up and drop it on. Watch your fingers. You can get your hand in there to grab the shaft. Oh yes, I said it. This might get a little cozy for us. Probably should have rotated the engine so the key is lined up correctly. That would have been a good idea. So it is at roughly 9 o'clock, and the engine's at 9 o'clock. Got that lucky. Come on, get down in there. You know it's got to get rotated just a hair, probably. Probably is I got to push the engine forward. There's no place for my hand. There you go. Come on. You can do it. That's like right there. Oh yeah. All that bitching, that wasn't that bad at all. Yeah. All right, we'll get some bolts in the bottom of it. All right, speak now. If you see anything that's screwed up, let me know. I'm not quite sure on the throttle. I had to go back. This stop way off compared to the other one that was on there. I'm not sure if it's going to over rev or not rev up high enough. We should probably put a plug wire back on, huh? And wires are kind of, I put one of the ones that were damaged. Now that we got a better plug, I put that one back through again, made a new end on it, but one of them I left out of the circuit. The red one that was there, I just taped it up. It was already taped up. This goes to the headlights, and I think everything else should be good to rock and roll. There's a cricket in here. All right, let's go give her a spin with the key and see what happens. We don't have a gas tank or nothing's hooked up, but there should be enough fuel in that carburetor for it to run. And I may want to put a battery terminal back on. No sparks yet. See if she cranks. Let's give it some choke. I don't know if I got spark. That's the. Look at that. Yeah. Smooth too. Dare I say it actually sounds better than it did before. Ever. It's gonna run out of gas in a minute, but that's okay. Much quieter. Yeah. See if it shuts off. It'd be funny if it doesn't. All right, I'm gonna go take the hood and gas tank assembly. We'll go throw that back on. I'll hook the fuel system up, and then we'll rev it up, make sure that the high RPMs work like they should, and then we can run the hydraulics, put a load on it. All right, let's go fire it up. See if she's got some RPMs in her. Joe. Getting gas. Might take a second too. Fuel filter's full. It's not revving high enough neither. You hear it. It's probably at like 2,500 RPM. We should be able to get up around 32, 35, something in that area at wide open. There. Fuel filter's filled. It has to go through a system. There's like a lockout right down in here. And then it goes back to the carb and fills it up after the fuel pump. Allows it to go. Let me prime it a little bit and we'll run it and see if we can get it to stay running. I think I found it. Well, there's the fuel pump. And it won't do anything if you don't hook the gas line up to it. So there's that. We're a little primed, then we'll drop the hood. The hood has to be down for the gas to flow. How about now? Could take a second for it to prime. I'm gonna bring it down back to idle. Prime it again. Give that a second, see if it fills up, let it warm up. Yeah, before it always had a lope to it on it, like at that RPM. It would like lope. You could hear it like it would just be firing on one side. It was a little on the weak side. It may still do it when it warms up. It's still the same carburetor and everything that was on it before. But definitely sounds a lot more even. Did I speak too soon? So that one screw I showed you, I'm gonna try running that in. Hopefully it doesn't affect the idle. I don't think it should. I think what happens is when, as soon as it starts up, the governor shuts the throttle off. But before that, the carburetor is kind of like in mid throttle. As soon as you start it up, the governor makes it go to the idle stop, not that eccentric screw, which I think is going to be the top RPM. Either that or I might be able to tweak that throttle cable a little bit more. Yeah. Because that's your throttle. You turn it, pull it out. That's not bad. Let's get it off the arms. Yeah, I'm gonna try to turn that up a little bit so you get a little bit more RPMs out of it. But it's pretty decent. Here's the engine we took out. I'll show you what I adjusted. So it's this right here. And that's the throttle part of it. You can see how it can separate. And this can work independently of this, but this I think is when this is connected to the throttle cable, I think it's allowing how much more push you're giving on the system. Give it a little more push. So here's where we are. This lever right here is your throttle. This one is the choke, and they go through. Down in here is a governor. This arm is a governor, so this indirectly affects the throttle. And this is what I adjusted right here. Is this bolt with this stop? It was way out, which he had it like on a, I think it was a vac system, and it just would have ran full throttle. It wouldn't have had an adjustment to it. So I need to go use 2 hands and correct pliers, but I'm going to go back that screw out, give it, I don't know, about 4 or 5 turns out, give this a little bit more push on the throttle. You see how I move the lever? A little bit more push. It hopefully does not raise the idle, but gives us a little bit more top end. That's warm. I'll go about that much. The lower you can have it too. You lose a little bit of speed of functionality, but the machine lasts longer. And now. Idle's still good. Pretty good. So the hydraulics respond fairly decent. I'm gonna go pop the air cleaner off, wrap up just a couple of loose ends, and go buzz it around a little bit. Yep, it always sounds like that. Cover up. Bring her out back and play in the gravel. That was gonna flip it over, didn't you? Yeah, it's its old self. Seems like it's performing just like it should. Blowing a little bit of smoke, but I think there's oil. Like when I was running it before, it was starting to smoke, and again on its way out, and I think it pushed a bunch of crap into the exhaust system and the muffler. So it's probably, as it's heating up, just burning that off. but definitely seems to be working much better and a lot quieter than it was before. They're good machines. You know, the two-wheel drive, that's the only probably downfall on them. But with that, the tires that are on it are pretty beefy. So it gets out of its own way, out of trouble. I've had it on some pretty steep inclines. Plus, if you do get screwed, you just take the backhoe and you start digging and pushing yourself out where you need to get out of. Awesome. She lives. I don't think we spent any money on it either. So I ran it around for another half hour, 40 minutes. It seems absolutely fine. No smoke, everything kind of cleared right up. Idle's fine. And topped it off with some gas. Still want to change the oil in it, get an oil filter for it. That still needs to be done before it leaves. The Bobcat, the Kubota engine, is waiting on a rebuild kit from China. I'm not sure how long it's going to take to get here. I may go and jump onto, while I have all this crap kind of laying around, and me try to build a good engine out of these three, and then maybe we'll dissect the one that blew up and see if we can see anything that happened on it. That, we got the mini bike still waiting its turn. The parts came in for that. So guys, with that, I'm going to go sign off, and thank y'all for hanging out, wrenching, getting some of my stuff back up and running. As my dad says, the more you got, the more you got to take care of. I think that's the truth. Still better than digging holes with a shovel, though. I'd rather swap motors than dig holes. All right, guys, with that, I'm going to sign off. Thank y'all for hanging out, and I'll see you soon. Later.